8.5% correction on the benchmark, is that good enough to see that we could now perhaps look at a bounce back sooner or later, or is there going to be much more to go? And how are you really looking at the mid caps which are now which have entered into the correction zone, 10% down? Is most of the froth over there?
Well, two parts to your question. One, index I think is a very deceptive way to look at it because index has hardly corrected in that sense. I mean, we're up almost 37, 38% in the last 18 months. So 7, 8% corrections are par for the course. And remember, we haven't had a double-digit correction on the Nifty for the last 18 months odd. I'm excluding the June 4th election reaction to this because it was very temporary. So, as I said, maybe another 5 to 8% on the Nifty can be a real possibility, and that should bring it to a reasonable level of support because the Nifty valuations will also start looking reasonable at that stage. Having said that, we also have to keep in mind what sort of overall earnings cut we get to by the end of the earnings season. Remember, we started disappointing. Hopefully, we should taper off, and if the cuts are not as sharp, then obviously Nifty will find some support at lower levels. On the mid caps, I think some of the mid caps have corrected much sharper than the double digit numbers. In some cases, we even see 25, 30% corrections. But these are cases wherein you had seen a doubling, tripling, even quadrupling of the stock prices, and valuations had gone through some very unrealistic levels, which were not sustainable anyways. But as you know, markets always have their own extremes, and this was one extreme that we were observing from July onwards, wherein everything was being just lapped up, liquidity was extremely supportive, and those reality checks had to play out. They are playing out. So while there are pockets of sectors that we find interesting to start looking at, but have we started advising to go all out to allocate money? No, not at this stage. I would still probably wait and watch. Value corrections may have taken place in lot many stocks, but I think the time correction is something that you have to now build up for the next 3 to 6 months and use that time period to allocate weightages accordingly.